Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Adam and Jake and Kinsley on the movies.
Yes.
Every week we watch a movie, we talk about the movie, we answer a few questions about the film. This week we picked a Christmas movie in the 2019 classic, The Lighthouse, which was directed by Robert Eggers, written by Robert Eggers and Max Eggers, no relation, and starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. Oh, let's introduce each other. I'm Jake.
I'm Adam.
I'm Kinsley.
All right. Do you have a synopsis for us today?
No, I do not.
Do you want me to do it real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I have one. Two lighthouse keepers try to maintain their sanity while living on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s.
Oh, 1890s. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
All right. So we shall begin. Question number one. What was your initial reaction after the movie? I had not seen the movie before. When did each of you see it for the first time?
Kinsley, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, no, like soon after it came out, I saw it on Amazon and was like, okay, this looks weird. And it's the same director, A24 producer, love all that. So, but yeah, my initial reaction after I watched it, I was like, what did I just watch? What was all this? But I don't know. It's really interesting after you dive into it. You really get an understanding what's going on.
Yeah, I watched it probably. Kinsley introduced it to me maybe a month ago. And I've watched it like 3.5 times within like 2 weeks, maybe 4 times. I'll say 4 times. And I found it so interesting and intriguing that I continue to watch it, and I'm fascinated even to this very moment. What about yourself?
I wrote down, oh boy, ... I thought, obviously it's like, to me, I was like, okay, this is is some kind of analogy for something. I had a lot of theories in my mind about what's going on and like what all of this meant. I was like, I dig this tone, definitely dug the tone of the film, but I was very, I was confused. I had my ideas, but I was like, I don't know. So what would you, if you could change anything about said film, what would you change about it?
I don't know. I don't think anything.
Nothing? Okay. All right.
No, I agree. I don't think anything needs to be changed, because if you change one little aspect, it's going to change everything within the film. Like, the film is shot in old-timey square ratio.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even, the format that we're used to. It's in black and white. There's minimal music, but there is a score. So all these little elements, the tone, it's kind of a slow burn. I don't think anything needs to be changed. What about yourself?
I would make it a 20-minute short film. I really would.
It's great.
It felt like a short film. I enjoyed it.
Really?
I wasn't done. I enjoyed 20 minutes of it.
Okay.
It happened to be scattered amongst the whole film. So I'm going to be the dissenting opinion here, because we all get one and none of us are right or wrong. But I would make it a 20-minute short. I think it was a strong, visually super strong. I thought it was, acting was good, all that stuff. But I just, for me, it was difficult to get to. Like, at the midpoint, I was like, I'm good. Let's go. Get them off the island. We're good. Let's all go home and move on. But I knew, I was like, somebody's got to die. Like, it's just
Did you
has
watch it
to happen.
explained?
Did I watch it?
Did you watch it explained after watching the movie? Because that's what I made Adam.
I know nothing. I didn't look up anything because I wanted to save it all for the show. But I actually watched it the night after we did the last show, just because I was kind of like, I just want to check it out. Let me just get it. So I watched it that night. But I don't really, I want to get to that. I want to get to that when we get towards the end of it. But let's get to these other questions real quick, and then we'll jump into what it all means. Because I have my thoughts. I have theories as to what I believe that it is. What do you think?
That originally you didn't like the trailer. Did you say that?
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, this is like a weird comedy or something. Which then I watched the film and I'm like, it was nothing. Like I don't think that I knew the trailer.
The trailer I didn't care for it.
I didn't think it was going to be a good representation of the film because I was like, for the hype that this film is getting, this trailer does nothing for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So what do you think about the main character? I'll take this first.
Okay.
So we'll just rotate. We'll rotate. What do you think of his arc? I thought there was definitely a visual portrayal of his arc because at the beginning he's not crazy.
Who are you considering the main character?
I would say Robert Pattinson is who I consider to be the main character. I would say he does definitely have an arc. See, the hard part is to me, I don't think the movie is what we're watching. I think the movie is what's going on in like the real world, and this is like some kind of internal thing that's playing out as a representation of what's going on in the real world. That's why I'm like with Robert Pattinson, I'm like, I don't know. At the beginning, he's hiding something. At the end, he is completely exposed.
Free, yeah. Okay.
So there you go. All right. What about you, Kinsley?
Wait,
who would you say is the main character?
Awful. What was the question?
Who would you consider to be the main character, and how did they? Like, what was your thoughts about them in the film?
I mean, I think Robert Pattinson was definitely the main character, but I think the old man stole the show. I forgot his name, so I suck at names of actors and stuff. But the old man, I liked him a lot.
Robert Pattinson was Thomas Howard, and then Willem Dafoe is Thomas Wake. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I agree. I do think that Willem Dafoe did steal the show, but I thought Robert Pattinson really surprised me. As an actor, before this movie, I wasn't on his side. Now I'm like, he surprised me, just like Shia LaBeouf did in The Unnecessary Death of Charlie Countryman. So Robert Pattinson kind of turned me around, and I think both of their arcs were not what I expected, but I thought they came full circle in almost identical ways.
All right, let's kind of blast through these next ones real quick. This one should be pretty simple.
Jimmy,
who was your favorite secondary character? So beyond the Thomases, who was your favorite other character in this film? And we might have to step outside the box for this one.
Mine is the I'll start. I'll say the seagull. Because if you think about this, without the seagull, a lot of some of the ideas that were planted and some of the, as you know, as far as like things are going wrong, bad luck is upon us, he beats that seagull to death.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a jarring scene. I don't know if I honestly expected it. From the score and from the look in Robert Pattinson's eye, and from the story before, you know, Willem Dafoe was saying, you know, leave them alone, but it's still bothering him. I knew that he was going to, you know, evoke rage and beat it. I didn't realize he was going to beat it to death as he did. But yeah, I would say the seagull is my favorite secondary character. And its story arc ended rather abruptly.
Yeah. What about you, Kinsley?
What thing?
What? Yeah. What was? What else did you like?
I mean, I like the Sirens, Mermaid.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was just weird. Anyways, how they even came to play. Because they're
and
like
the sound that they made as well.
Huh?
The sound that they made as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That like screech kind of sound maybe.
I'm gonna say the Lighthouse itself, because I think the Lighthouse plays a very important role in this film. So with a limited amount of options. It was either that or the wheelbarrow, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, I would say
you could have the crate full of booze.
Oh, or that. But
Yeah.
I think the Lighthouse was a very interesting part of it. Obviously, if the Lighthouse is not there, the film just really struggles to exist. But I think that the eeriness of whatever they were like, whatever was going on in that lighthouse, was played out really, really, really well, and I really, yeah, yeah, kind of liked it. I liked it better than Seagull. I didn't like the Seagull. He pissed me off.
So you would have beat it to death as well.
Well, I don't know if I would have beat it to death the way that he did, but I wouldn't have put up with crap.
Yeah.
What about the music and the score?
That's what I was about to mention. The horn the whole time, like always there and never stopped. So I think that's interesting. But yeah, I would say the horn really made the movie.
All right? So tell me, what about the horn did you like so much? Like, what was it about that? The horn when they used it.
Yeah, it just adds the eeriness to it and makes it like, it's just always there. It never goes away throughout the movie. So
yeah.
It's like a constant look over your shoulder that something sinister might happen, but you don't know. Like a constant crawling on your back. And I think the score in this entire movie was like that, with every little screech, every little eerie violin, the waves themselves, the storm, even the silence when there was a complete silence, because this is kind of a low-key silent movie, more low-key sounding movie. I think all of it added to it, and without the score and these sounds like the horns that Kinsley was talking about, the movie wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm throwing a lot of shade on this film. I'm sorry. I just do throw a lot of shade on the film, but I think that the thing that they crushed the absolute most was that sound, like the way they built the environment using sound. To me, I was like, like the horn, like you were talking about, Kinsley, is just like, it just puts you in this state of mind. The crashing of the waves constantly, and even to the point where the squawking of the bird just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just such a screeching sound that you want to rip the bird's head off.
Really?
But I think that the use of that horn in this film, it was.
Sound's going out.
Sounds. I was like, wait a second, am I going crazy?
I didn't catch that last part.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So sorry about that. For some reason,
Okay.
like, I don't know what happened. But anyway, but the sound of that horn, ironically, the sound of that horn was just so perfect. It's like, and really to make this movie work, you've got to have good sound design.
Yeah.
And I think that they, as much as I might rip this film because of like certain aspects of it, these people knew what they were doing, and they executed at a high level.
Yeah.
Very high level. So yeah, I think that the sound was perfect.
I mean, they same thing in The Witch.
What was that?
What was that?
Sorry, I set my phone down. But they do the same sound thing in The Witch because it's a really like, it's the same concept they used in The Lighthouse. It's what they used in The Witch too. So
they're
really
very
cool.
similar type movies. So, and The Witch is done. I don't know. The Witch is one of my favorite movies of this time, and the Lighthouse is becoming that way as well.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of movies where they use more music to create that sound, but they use like real stuff to create it. And that's what I really, really, really liked about this, is it's so real. Like you can't get away from that sticking horn.
Yeah. Such an organic thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Love that. All right. Do you want to skip favorite scene, or do you want to do favorite scene? Because I really want to get into this last part, because I really want to dive into this.
All right, let's get into the last part.
All right. So final thoughts about the film. I want to know. All right. So I want to know your final thoughts, and then I want to discuss these theories just for a little bit.
Okay. What's your final thoughts, Kinsley?
It's amazing. Everyone should watch for a psychological, torment in a way. It's great. I love the like, oh my gosh, I can't talk, intensity of it. But yeah, I definitely would recommend.
Now, I like this movie. It's very subtle. It builds. I like the black and white. I like that they went to the old-timey square. I like that they did research and the accents that the characters use. They're authentic to that area and that time. The acting, the score, even the story. It's a simple story, but there's different theories of what this movie is about. It's like almost a David Lynch movie with more of a plot than a David Lynch movie. I really enjoyed this movie, and I would probably watch it again in a week or two. So I really enjoy it.
All right, I would say it's a very, for a psychological thriller, I wouldn't say it's very mainstream, but it's pretty close to being a mainstream. I've seen some that are just like a lot further in left field that I'm like, if you like mainstream movies, you're going to hate this movie. Yeah. But this one, I think, and then that's why I think we saw the mainstream appeal of it, is because it does toe that line. I think it definitely stays on the line of like more of genre film, but I think it gets really close. So I would say, if you're in any way kind of interested in psychological films, it's a great place to start, because I think that there's a lot of value in this film. I thought the first half of the film was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And if I ever watch it again, I'll probably watch it to the midpoint and then be like, all right, we're good. Like, okay. Because I just love this vibe of the film up to the midpoint. And then soon as stuff started picking up and I knew the pace was going to pick up, I was just like, I'm not digging it anymore. I lost the momentum that I had by adding momentum to the film. So will I watch it again? There's an off chance that I might watch the first 40 minutes of it again in the future, but mostly from a studying standpoint.
Yeah, it's a great study as well.
Yeah. So please tell me, what are some of these theories that are out there?
Okay. Kinsley, do you want to name a couple of these?
Well, I think, gosh, I can't talk today, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me, but
welcome to my life.
I feel like the old man is just reliving his life through Robert Pattinson's, like reliving his story or something. I don't know how to explain it, Adam. You might have to do the explaining here.
Oh.
Well, there's I can see that. Now here's a couple of theories that in a video, and I wrote a couple down. Theory number one is the Lighthouse is a modern retelling of a Greek myth. So if you want to do more research on that, Jake, I only wrote down the actual theories. Okay. I could see maybe if you go into Greek mythology, how that would play into, I'm not sure of the actual gods and goddesses, their names.
Mm-hmm. Poseidon?
Yeah, Poseidon. Yeah, I think you could go with that theory. I don't think that's the theory. Number two theory is Thomas and Ephraim. Is that how you pronounce his name? Ephraim?
Ephraim?
Yeah. But the point is
that
they're the same person.
Okay.
And they're having a mental breakdown within the Lighthouse, and they're they're basically fighting within themselves. And they're the same person.
And then Willem Dafoe's character is a real person?
Yeah.
And or then Robert Pattinson and the other guy are the same person.
Yeah, kind of like, like in Shutter Island, how Leo's character, he saw himself, all this stuff that was happening, but it really wasn't happening. That's another theory. Another theory was it's a commentary on man's complicated desires. I'm not really sure.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that because he really does struggle with a lot of things,
right.
From aggression to sexuality to like all these different aspects of his life. Like he doesn't really know, like almost like he just doesn't really know who he is.
Yeah.
because he's just
because like whenever he because there was that really weird scene whenever they got really close and like intimate, and then they like backed up, and it was like, what just went on there? And about like the other theory that we just spoke about, whenever they call each other the same names whenever they're arguing, whenever they get really into it, they say the same person. It's like they almost got blended at that point. So I don't.
What's the one scene where it's near the end and they're both, I think Willem Dafoe's standing up, Robert Pattinson's sitting down, and they say the same phrase over and over back to each other several times, but they end up screaming at the end.
Yeah.
Do you remember the phrase that they say? They say
Is it the what? Whenever they're like, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think about that scene?
Interesting.
That was the whole second half is so non-linear that it was just kind of like everything started breaking up anyway, and I didn't know where we were.
Yeah.
And when that happens, then I'm like, I really don't know like where we are, what we're doing right now. Like I'm so confused as to what is going on. But that's where it feels like it broke the mold.
Okay.
It broke out and now it became something different. And I'm like, I don't know where it is, but then it comes back.
Yeah.
So what was the ending? Is there any idea on the ending?
Yeah. So, okay. So you remember the seagull, it only had one eye, right? So, and then whenever he ends up laying there, he only has one eye. Yeah, like he doesn't have his other eye, like the seagull.
Oh, the seagull. But why is the seagull ripping him apart?
Because apparently it was, he killed a guy, right? And
that's why he was kind of escaping to
the
island.
It's hard to explain. It really is. It's just like, it doesn't make sense whenever you say it out loud, but whenever you watch it and like really dive into it, I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
Here's what I gathered. He killed the guy when they were out logging.
Yes.
And he was then, to me, the lighthouse, this island doesn't exist. None of this stuff exists in the real world. This is all in like an internal analogy or whatever of this fighting, and that it's ripping him apart and he just can't take life anymore. He cannot handle life anymore because he's now dealing with all the issues that he has been hiding from. And so this is like, so that's why I was thinking like, he's up in he's like in a cabin in Canada.
He even says that at one part. He was like, this isn't even real. And then also, what's his name, the old man again? William Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe, yeah.
Okay, so he killed his previous Lighthouse, partner. Because you remember whenever Robert Pattinson goes down and he pulls that crate out, and it's actually the guy that has one eye. My bad, I got it mixed up. But that guy is the one that had one eye. That William Dafoe ended up killing, which now kind of correlates with the seagull only having one eye that's torturing Robert Pattinson. There we go. I'll put it all together at the end.
You did. Yes. Nice work.
Yeah, goodness. It took me a minute to woo!
There's another theory that I was reading about, and this theory was actually that the movie is just about asking questions and giving no real solid answers.
But that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
Everybody likes theories because no one can really be wrong. It's like, do you really know?
Yes.
That's what makes me the maddest. I'm going to reject that theory because it makes me so mad. I hate when movies don't end.
You don't like an open ending?
Oh, I hate an open ending.
And I love it. I think it's so much fun.
I like open endings too. Oh, we've got somebody watching from Slab City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
Right. Anyway, all right. Well, let's wrap this up. This was a good discussion. This is a great discussion that we had.
Can I do one more thing?
Yeah, bring it on.
I thought it was so weird whenever he walks him outside like a dog, you know, like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
It was very sexual too. Like it did not feel. It almost felt like,
He-
Robert Pattinson was actually getting off by it. Like
he wanted
weird.
a sub,
This
Yeah.
is okay. So this is where
a cuck.
my thought about that is that he that's why he's like, this is not the real world. In the real world, he literally has a dog that he is imagining to be this person and leading him out and burying his dog alive. Like, to me, he's going crazy in the real world, and it's all being metaphorized. I don't know what you know, whatever.
Metaphorized.
Through this world. So to me, it was like he's living his real life, but just replacing stuff there.
But wasn't Robert Patterson, wasn't William Dafoe calling him dog like all through the beginning? Like it was
He was
like
calling
roles
him
were
names.
reversed.
And he was also not, he was calling him something because he kept on saying, Robert Pattinson kept on saying his name. He was like, no,
Yeah.
my name is this. And I think it was, all tied in to that sub-dom relationship in a way.
Yeah, because you remember he made him like he literally made him into like Robert Patterson was the bitch like all out throughout the first
He says, I'm not here to be your housewife or something like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the piece of the dialogue, because he was making him like scrub everything. He gives him that little dialogue. If you have to scrub the rust off of every nail, you'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted, and I think he did get off of having that power over, I
Yeah,
guess
the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Anyways, I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right. Well, good discussion, everybody. That was fun. What are we coming back with next week, Adam?
So, well, there's a couple of things here. Now, I don't know if you want to do the show on the 17th and 18th, if that's possible, or do 2 shows in a day, 2 movies, because I'd like to get in 3 Christmas movies this
For
rest
something
of the month.
completely different. Yeah, let's do it. We can do it.
So let's do. We want to do a fan favorite. Everyone has been mentioning this one, so we could either do Christmas Vacation. You want to do that one next week?
For sure.
Kinsley, you want to join?
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people say that we choose movies that no one has seen, which we do. The next week we could do another one if anyone else has a suggestion. Home Alone is one suggestion, and I wanted to finish out on the 23rd if we do the show. Die Hard.
Oh yeah, we had to do Die Hard because we've been talking about that for a while.
Have you watched that before, Kinsley?
Huh? Die Hard? No,
Yeah.
but I heard it's like a Christmas movie, apparently.
Well,
I've heard there's a debate about that.
Well, here's what I was suggesting, and I mentioned this to Felicia as well. Die Hard is now back in theaters. So I've never seen it on the big screen, so I'm going to try to check it out on the big screen.
All right.
And also, it is a movie that has the perfect 3-act structure for an action movie.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I know so much about
So
it,
you
but
all
I've
have
never seen it.
Neither one of you all have seen it before.
Nope.
Nope.
Never seen it.
Wow.
I've never seen Home Alone. I just don't like Christmas movies in general, but I love Elf. Elf
Okay.
is great.
Well, maybe Elf could be one that we do.
Yeah, we could throw that in.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to switch it up. I would like to see something different.
So, are you going to join us, Kinsley, for the next show right after
I'll
this?
definitely try.
Okay. We will log off here and join you back.
All right, so we'll be back next week with Christmas Vacation, so go out and watch it for a complete change of pace. We'll do Christmas for the rest of this month. And that's going to do it for this show. So I'm Jake.
I'm Adam.
Kinsley.
We
So
will-
nerdy.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.